Liverpool is famous for its many things, such as the Beatles, its nightlife, and its historical buildings. But Liverpool is also known for its ghosts, its time loops, and an encounter with the devil himself. This city that's so full of life, but it also has a hidden dark side. That's why tonight we will be investigating for the first time Liverpool's St James's Garden, one of the UK's most haunted locations. Will the spirits of centuries ago come out to say hello? We'll see. St James's Garden is located on Upper Duke Street, and it is overlooked by the Anglican Cathedral. The garden dates back to 1825, when it was just a quarry that provided stone for many of Liverpool's historical buildings. St James's Garden is formerly known as St James's Cemetery, where there is over 50,000 souls buried here. Souls such as slave traders, MPs, merchants, orphans and cholera victims. This is where Liverpool buried their dead. In the centre of the garden stands a memorial for the late MP William Huskinson, who was tragically injured by Robert Stephenson's locomotive, the Rocket. He was thrown onto the tracks due to a fault in the door, and his leg was horrifically mangled. He later gave in to his fatal injury and passed away. A shadowy spectre has been seen with a limp inside the memorial. Could this be Mr. Hutchinson himself, with an injury that has carried over to the other side? Tonight, this will be the main focus of our investigation. Walking around the garden, there's a smell of garlic in the air. That is because there is a vampire buried here, along with his 3 wives. He used to drink the blood and save their body parts. He was found and killed with a stake placed through his heart, buried face down, and garlic was planted around, so his spirit couldn't reach his wives on the other side. There's a hag by the name of Jenny Greenteeth. Of human life, she is a well-known thief. She waits under the water of the old mill pond for unsuspecting victims to happen along. She claims her victims at the dead of night, when many folks' hearts are full of fright. It's always under the light of the silvery moon that her terrified victims meet their final doom. Their victims won't believe what they are seeing when from the water they spy a strange being. The victim will think it's all just a dream. They will open their mouths and begin to scream. She bursts forth from the water with staring eyes, filling her chosen victim with shock and surprise. With her long bony fingers, she grabs at the limbs. Having taken a hold, she drags them on in. Her skin is pale and green, her hair is long, her breath gives off the most dreadful pong. Her teeth are pointed like those of a shark, her eyes are large and like coal are dark. Her reaching arms are as skinny as a rake, but unwilling victims these arms do take. With hair like waterweed and a very thin face, her appearance makes her victims' hearts race. To the edge of the pond, most will not venture near. Of Jenny Greenteeth, there is a grateful fear. The young and the old should take special care, not to venture too near to Jenny's watery lair. With ferocity like that of a mighty lion, she grabs her victims with fists of iron. Into the murky depths she drags them down. They breathe their last, and then they drown. Jenny Green, or green teeth? Could it be just a poem to warn young children from going near water alone? Or is it just a myth in the Lancashire, Cheshire and Merseyside area? Or could it be the witch that used to be the head of a witch's coven still walk the grounds of this park? A tourist came here to the garden. While taking pictures, she seemed to caught an apparition walking through the bushes. She posted it on a Merseyside paranormal group and it even made the papers. Could she have caught the apparition of Jenny Green? A little girl also haunts this cemetery, and she goes by the name of Little Grace. Born out of wedlock, her mother couldn't afford to keep her, and her father was a well-known rich man who lived above in Gambia Terrace. Unfortunately, Little Grace passed away very young in her sleep with pneumonia, and her father buried her within the catacomb walls, unmarked and alone. A well-known medium of the time had seen the little girl's spirit crying within the cemetery, and the medium got somebody to carve Little Grace's name into the part of the wall where she was buried. And that carving is still there today. So we're going in. Yeah, I can know. It's quite weird. So I've only ever been in this cemetery when I've been in a ghost tour itself. So I've never actually been with him on my own. I have, but like only when it's been like 7 o'clock. So you can see all the tombs. Now there's supposed to be over 50,000 people buried in this cemetery. So I'm quite nervous. You know, it is on one of the UK's most haunted lists, and this is where I was before. So a tourist here saw what it seems to be the witch, but a ghost over here, and it was on the actual local paper. You alright?
Yeah, all good.
We are only seconds in and have already caught a noise on the camera. See if you can listen.
Alright? Yeah, all good.
Could that cry be a cry of an orphan? Or even Little Grace? Let's carry on with the investigation. Shit one then. It's actually a lot creepier at night. It's nicer in the day, I will say that. So obviously we have to take into account that you know, it's a residential area. There is houses up there, you know, and obviously you didn't see before because I didn't film. I keep hearing shit. Yet again, caught another sound not far from where we caught the first one. See if you can hear it. Because I didn't film, I keep hearing shit. Sorry, I've just got your face on here. I didn't mean to. So yeah, it's a lot spookier at night, and I think because I've got the idea of it's Halloween in my head, you know, I don't know, like it's peaceful, but Over there is the Hutchinson Memorial. On here. Oh, so you can see there's the cathedral in the back. It's quite a nice shot. It's literally just a waiting game, really. You sit down. Good, Jack's here.
People walking down that way.
Is there?
Yeah. Mad bright these.
I told you they're good, aren't they, for mini torches? £7 off Amazon. It's not going to be like Batman. Trying to shine it in the top, in the sky. So there are people coming now with torches. So it's a local park. So, you know, there will be people keep coming in and out.
It's quite peaceful at night, I think.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's quite creepy.
Depends where you go. This bit's not too bad.
If it's over in that part of the garden, which I really don't like. I don't know what it is.
No. No, it's not a nice part. Not too bad.
Do you think?
This bit's okay.
Yeah, in the memorial.
Street lights and things.
Yeah, but once the cathedral goes off. Yeah. Did you see the whites of the trainers? Or their trainers, I should say.
You'd be blinding yourself with that light.
No, alright, you know. It's not that. It's not that. Oof. Dark, really. There's another person coming through. Or I've just seen a fucking light flash.
Yeah, we saw the torch.
Now, I've just said I seen a light, and with people coming through, I thought it was a person with a torch. But when we ventured to that part of the garden, there was nothing there. And when we got into the car, Jack also said he had seen the light. Now, the light was very still. It wasn't moving, so it couldn't have been a reflection of our torches. We still don't know what it was, but could it have been a will-o'-the-wisp that we seen? We're at the tomb now. Oh yeah. We're at the tomb. Yeah. So that's the tomb. Let's go up. What? It's not really that dark. Well, it is dark. Is that you? As I was looking in the tomb, I heard a branch snap. Now, I thought it was Jack. As you can tell, I asked him, was it him? He said no. Now, a little bit further on in the video, at this segment, you'll be able to see there's a lot of twigs and branches in the actual memorial. Could somebody have stepped on a twig? And that's what I heard. Unfortunately, though, I didn't catch it on camera. So, hello? Mr. Huskinson? If you're here, please, can you say anything? Get right in the cage.
Hello?
I know, it echoes. Do you still come here? Do you haunt this memorial? It's absolutely filthy in there.
Yeah.
For a memorial, anyway.
True. I wonder how the twigs get in there. People must just throw them in. Get weird.
Did you have an injury when you got sadly run over? That's like the worst question to ask ever.
No, I was fine.
Did your injury carry over to the side? recording. And now this is from the EVP point of view. So, hello? Mr. Huskinson? If you're here, please can you say anything? Get right in the cage.
Hello? Is that loud?
I know it echoes. Do you still come here? Do you haunt this memorial? It's absolutely filthy in there.
Yeah.
For a memorial, anyway.
True. I wonder how the twigs get in there. People must just throw them in. Bit weird.
Did you have an injury when you got sadly run over? That's like the worst question to ask ever.
No, I was fine.
Did your injury carry over to the side? Listen very closely. You can hear a faint male shout. When conducting this part of the EVP, we didn't hear anything, and there was no one around in the garden. We were all alone. Carry over to the side. If you listen closely, you can hear that the shout actually echoes within the chamber. Could we have caught the shouts of Mr. Hutchinson shouting in pain after all these years? Right, funny. So these are actually the catacombs. And people, apparently there are over 40 people buried in here, and it goes about 10 feet down. And back in the when this was an actual proper functioning graveyard, it would be £5 to be buried within the catacombs, but you'd be buried up with all the people. So that's a list of how many people were in this catacomb, and each one has different lists.
I didn't realise that it's all different names.
Yeah. Whilst doing an EVP over at the catacombs, we didn't seem to capture any voices or noises in this part of the investigation. Yep, we're not the only ghost hunters today, or tonight. Yeah, so, let me just flip that round. So, I have to be dead careful because there's other people over here. I think they're hunting ghosts as well, because they've just been asking questions in the memorial. I'm definitely sure I caught something, but I don't know. So I'm going to ask a few more questions. Unfortunately, again, we captured no voices or noises on this EVP. So we're going to actually... So the noises that you can hear now, there's people at the top. This was made a local park back in the 60s. So people come through here all walks of the day. All walks of the day, all times of the day, sorry. I'm sure I've just seen a black something walk across there like black. And I'm not joking.
Where about?
It was over that way. So it was far that way.
No.
And it kinda, so it wasn't like a leaf, because you know how a leaf falls?
Yeah.
It was like it went across.
Alright.
Whilst we were taking a little break after the EVP packing up to go back to the car, I spotted a black figure crossing the gravestones up against the wall. Could I have spotted one of the many children that is supposed to haunt this cemetery? At this point in time, I felt like I needed to end the investigation here, as I was a bit uncomfortable after seeing the black shadow. I wasn't scared, but I was just uncomfortable. So on the way out, we decided to do one last EVP to see if we could capture any noises or voices. It's going dead dull now. So, ooh, that's quite creepy. Really?
Yeah, I've seen it then. Kind of all over the place. Probably all living there.
Cuddled in there.
Yeah. See it then?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Flying overhead. You look up this evening.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
It's actually quite scary. Well, it's not scary, but it's a bit weird. You know, and it's kind of, I think we need to come here again. I'll definitely come here again and do a return. Oh my god, my hat. Right. I'm going to turn this light off now, so if I go dark, I'm sorry.
That can be for another video.
What?
A revisit.
Me?
Oh, always.
Oh, I was going to say me on my own, no chance. Not going on my bill. So, oh, I wish I could show you. So it's voice recorder. So all these behind me, I don't know whether I could get close up, but these stones here, a lot of them were orphans. And they were buried in here because a lot of them died of cholera. You know, it's like the COVID-19 of yesteryear. Oh god.
What? You ran out of battery?
No.
Okie dokie.
If you listen very closely, you can hear a small child's, and we were standing by the orphans' gravestones. After finishing our investigation in the cemetery, we heard the most peculiar noise ever. The organ in the actual Anglican Cathedral was being played in the most extravagant way possible. And when we told the security guard going out of the car park, he told us that that couldn't be possible as there was nobody in the actual cathedral. St James's Garden has definitely proved its worth as one of the UK's most haunted locations. And now, after me hearing the little girl singing and hearing the shout in the Huskinson Memorial and even seeing the black figure cross the gravestones with my own eyes, has definitely proved it to me. Now, I am a believer in ghosts and I am a believer in the paranormal, but I like to figure out things. After hearing stuff in my day-to-day life and not being able to figure out why I'm hearing that, and also seeing things that I cannot figure out, I am definitely a believer now and 100% will be. If you'd like to visit the cemetery, you can do so any time of the day. It is open day and night going through to the early morning. And if you would also like to take one of the Liverpool ghost tours, you can also do so, such as Liverpool, and there is also many others. Now, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel, as I'm hoping to do many more of these videos. So guys, have pleasant dreams.